Doing sports talk worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is? You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Now, let's go up to the heavyweights. Y'all know what time it is. We got 3 undefeated heavyweight champions who are about to embark on a form of March Madness. 3rd and the 31st. Big fights. Everybody know what ones we're talking about. Let's talk about Anthony Joshua versus Joseph Parker for a minute. You know, a good fighter just talked about him, a fighter who fought both of them. He gave his opinion. And his opinion is, he says Joseph Parker is faster than Anthony Joshua. But to most of us, that's like a, well, duh statement, right? Duh. Yeah, we think Joseph Parker is a bit faster than Anthony Joshua, especially with the muscle mass that Anthony Joshua is carrying around right now. Although the latest picture of him, he's shredded. Anthony Joshua right now. He seems to be losing weight. But Carlos Takam, very formidable opponent, with the distance with Joseph Parker, with the distance officially, well, not officially, but with Anthony Joshua as well, was stopped in the 10th round, and that fight could have went on. It was on cuts. So he stood in here with both of these guys. It was even more impressive how he stood in there against Anthony Joshua because he found out about that fight 12 days before the fight. He didn't even have sparring leading up to that fight with Anthony Joshua. Against Joseph Parker, he had a full training camp. So this guy is a good fighter. He was beaten by Alexander Povetkin when Alexander Povetkin was full of dope. And he asked, after he was stopped late in that fight, he was asking how were you still strong? How was Alexander Povetkin still strong this late in the fight? Now we know it was Meldonium. I say it all the time. I just like to remind people who come here. You know how we know. We know we only got 3 subscribers here. When a new one come in, we got to tell them something that they didn't hear before. Yes, he was beat by Alexander Povetkin, but Alexander Povetkin was full of dope at the time. So, Carlos Takam is somebody. And his opinion is important, like I said, because he has faced both of them. And he says, like I said, Joseph Parker is definitely faster than Anthony Joshua. Now, he says, of course, Anthony Joshua has more power. So for him, this fight is a pretty even fight. And he says it's speed versus power. That's pretty much nothing we don't really know. But it's just good to hear coming from him, someone who has stood in there. He says he respects both of these guys. They're both great fighters and great champions. And another thing he says those are the best 2 in the heavyweight division. Now, that sounds like, you know, most of the time when a fighter fights somebody and lose to him, that's what they're going to say. But that's his opinion. They're the best 2 in the division. So that's very interesting. Now, another fighter, undefeated fighter, heavyweight, and a super heavyweight, I like to call him because he's close to 300 pounds, Jarrell Miller. He's weighed in on that fight too. Jarrell Miller says Joseph Parker's footwork is not to be ignored. He thinks the footwork of Joseph Parker makes that fight a very even fight. He doesn't know who he can't pick a winner, Jarrell Miller, because of the footwork of Joseph Parker. And he says the chin. Be careful because he has a good chin. So it makes the fight interesting. You know, and most of the people who are weighing in on the fights, both of these fights, even Luis Ortiz versus Deontay Wilder, when we're talking about March, we're talking about 2 very close fights. When you hear people in the know talking about these fights, not people in people's comment section and people just come in making comments with no knowledge behind it, just emotion. I'm talking about people who box promoters, ex-fighters, commentators, people that have to do with boxing. These fights are close when it comes to these people. And that is only good for us, the consumer. So, baby, let's get ready for March Madness. I think we got 2 magnificent fights coming up, right? So, I'm excited, and I'll keep coming at you guys when I get information. Doing Sports Talk worldwide. And I'm up out of here, y'all.